Go ahead. We don't have Heather.
We don't have Heather. We're not used to taking
welcome.
on everything right away.
I know. I have to hit the buttons. You can at least say hello.
Welcome, everyone, to the October broadcast. We're so happy to have everyone here today. And as always, an exciting topic, but I think one that's going to be of greater interest to you than most any other topic that we've talked about thus far this year. And that's 5Xing your commissions.
I'm just going to tell you, because you might be like, oh, that's sales hype. No, I'm going to show you side by side 5X to the penny on some of the programs. It's that simple. Like if you did a deal last year and you did the same exact identical deal this year, you make 5 times as much. Like I'm going to show you side by side. That's not some, some Hermosi 10X your business type stuff.
Ryan likes to show you the math, and we're definitely going to be covering that today.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've probably been seeing in the news a little bit the last few months with the big, beautiful bill. I mean, it's definitely gotten plenty of coverage.
Yeah. And I mean, if you've gotten into it at all, it kind of seems like a little bit of a fairy tale, but it's very real. It has very much passed, and it has very high profitability for us.
Yeah. This past July 4th, there was a lot of talk back and forth about it.
Isn't that kind of symbolic?
Yeah, exactly.
Independence Day.
So, yep. So, Kendra, one of the things we're seeing, though, the media has been focused really on the politics of it. And that's obviously not the part that we care about. We want to show you what about this is really unlocked for you. And so we'll be talking about that quite a bit.
It's all about you guys. You're in the field. You are the ones who are encountering all of this. So let's not look at it, like Ryan said, from the political side, but what does it actually mean for you? And what does it mean for your clients? And what does it mean let's dial it all the way down to the dollars and cents. What does it mean at that level?
Yeah. I mean, for starters, you're not the only one that's hearing about this constantly. And by the way, I forgot a few housekeeping things that Heather usually covers. This is a live interaction call. So a couple of things, I think usually she says like and subscribe,
she does a lot.
You want to do that. So
we're missing her today.
Yeah. There's links on the page that you're on. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure to like that page. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe because we do post updates on there. If you're watching on the web, you may consider switching over to YouTube. Just as 4K over there. Mm-hmm. There's a link at the top of the page you're watching at. And of course, like I said, subscribe on YouTube. No matter which platform you're on, comment and ask your questions, things like that. We can see them all here. You can only see the comments for the platform you're in.
Yeah, so unfortunately.
That's just the way. If you're on YouTube, you can only see other people that are watching YouTube's comments and on the web and vice versa. But we can actually see and respond to everything. So this is an interactive call. We want it to be. So Kendra, this bill.
She also always talks about the giveaway for the kits.
Yes.
And I never let her actually announce who won. So Jeff, you won last month. Great. Congratulations. We're really happy for you. I think the rules are like and follow, comment, and something else.
Yes.
So I'll make sure that if you do all of those things, she does pull somebody to win one of the physical marketing kits for this web broadcast as well. Sorry.
Absolutely. So, you've been seeing this a lot. Your clients have been seeing this a lot. This information is obviously out there. But I think what's been really missing for this is what's in it for the average small business owner. Mm-hmm. And since your compensation comes as a direct correlation with that, kind of what's in it for them.
Right. And I like the fact that like Ryan said, we're going to talk about it from that side, but you're going to walk away today knowing exactly which parts of this bill create opportunity for you. Sometimes we feel like we have to know ins and outs and maybe details that are completely unnecessary. What we need to know is what creates the opportunity. And I'm going to let you in on a little bit of spoiler. There's several of them and they're quite significant.
Yeah. So when we say you've been seeing emails and you're seeing 3X commissions, 5X commissions, I mean, this, like I said, we're going to back that up completely.
I actually made Ryan prove it to me before I would put it out there in
we're going to do the math. I'm going to show you there's, it's clearly 5. In fact, I'm going to tell you that some of the programs are actually 10X. So you'll see same client, same type of work. This isn't going after different types of clients. What it is that this bill provides for a lot more money. And since we're on a contingent like model, then when clients get more money, we get more money. When we get more money, you get more money. But Kendra, I want to talk about this from a practical standpoint. When I say that same client, same type of work, same process, and you just get paid 3 to 5x.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Now, this signed back in July. So the nice thing is we're not saying, hey, you will. We already are several months into this.
Right.
And so some of what you're about to say, this is past tense.
We have a group of you as advisors who are like on the cutting edge of everything, when everything's going to happen. And a lot of you took what happened in July and ran with it really early on. And we're already seeing commission reports that are reflecting significantly higher payouts between 3 and 5x based on that activity. And that was mind blowing.
Same type of client, same everything. On top of that, Kendra, we saw our largest July for cost seg ever. July is typically a slower cost seg month.
Let's be honest, July is snooze city.
Yeah,
compared to most of the time when we're
there's
working.
not a tax deadline in July, but this year it was not at all. We saw it was a very strong month.
The production team has been extremely busy, and we kind of figured it, like did some figuring, and we figured that it was just about a 72% increase in closures.
Yeah.
Based on all of these factors that are giving us this big push with the big beautiful bill.
We're going to let Jack from our production department come on in a little bit and talk to you about what she's seen in how quickly deals are closing. So not only are deals closing at their higher commission rate, but deals are closing much quicker. And the third thing that you'll see is, Kendra, we're going to talk about this carryback.
Yeah.
So again, same type of client. We're seeing on average $210,000 in increase, as far as carrybacks.
And I wanted to point out, I kind of missed it. I moved too quickly past that accelerated closure. It's crazy that that's happening because the law, I want to point something out a little early maybe, but we'll cover this again. The law changes are doing the convincing for you. The clients aren't resisting like before. Those of you that have been around for a while know that back before ERC and PPP, we had to do a lot of education and buy-in by the clients. All of that is relatively gone right now.
Yeah.
So imagine like we're reaching out to people and they're going, wait, like, so I get X amount of money, like that's a thing. And they're like, I'm in, like, whatever's happening, like I want to be in on that. And that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. So, a few aspects to understand about this.
Yep. It is making us kind of force a shift in the way we view what we're doing. And that's kind of hard for us sometimes. We have to internalize this shift. You are no longer trying to sell something. You're simply trying to show. And that's kind of crazy when you think about all the years that we've done education and all these things we've tried to convince clients that what we have is legitimate and it belongs to them. You're past that at this point.
Yeah. And another thing that we're seeing is that clients are already, the expectations changed so much post-COVID. Before that, for people like we were just kind of horsing around with Neil here, Neil, you've been around long enough that, we used to always teach partners like Neil how to go out there and educate that there were tax incentives available. But you look at the vast majority of companies that took tax credits in, whether it be or tax incentives or government programs, whether it be PPP or ERC, this now becomes the staple to the point that instead of convincing businesses that there might be something, and there's this thing called tax incentives, they're saying, hey, what tax incentives are available?
Yeah, they're asking us at this point. Yeah, there's the resistance is gone, I guess you could say. And there's that endless justification and educating out the window. Yeah. And it just opens the door for us.
Keep in mind, and I mentioned this earlier, you've had billions of dollars in free advertisements. So every night on the news, when they're talking about this, whether it's Fox News saying this is the biggest thing and it's going to save the country, or it's NBC drawing devil horns on Trump saying this is the end of the world. We told you he was the Antichrist. Doesn't matter. Whichever those are, all advertisement is good advertisement. At the end of the day, a business owner is sitting back saying what's going on, what's available. And that's not my opinion. That's not hype. That's what we're seeing from people.
And I think at the bottom line, there's this big change and it makes you the hero and not the salesperson anymore.
Yeah. So I want to talk about what's changed. And we're going to break this down in a very simple fashion. First of all, there are 4 changes, major changes to the programs that we already offer. And we're going to cover those in a straightforward and simplistic manner. And then there's 2 programs that are brand new that will be rolling out today on this call. So right now, this is kind of quick fire, and then we're going to go into each of those. Kendra, the first one.
The first one is R&D, which we're so excited about. And I'm going to word this a certain way. And again, we keep talking about the advisors who've been here forever, but those of you who've been here forever are going to get it. R&D is back to full expensing, guys.
Back to, for those of you who haven't been here long enough for this is the heyday of R&D. This is where clients make the most money.
Yep.
This is literally later in the call where I'm going to show you 10x commissions. This is one of the categories
we
where
saw this happen.
You
we were
make
so excited.
10 times what you did, same type of client.
Yep.
The next two relate to cost seg.
Yeah, cost segregation is basically what I'm going to say is it is more significant and more powerful than it has ever been before. There's a big change with bonus depreciation that, again, reverts back to the way that it used to be, which our clients have been asking for since the day they changed it.
Yep.
And thank goodness it's back.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about retroactive credits. These are credits that can be taken back. They're going to generate physical refund checks for clients because they were underpaid. So clients love physical checks. So we'll talk about that portion. And then Kendra, there's two new programs that I want to talk about in a little bit because new is where everybody gets excited, and that's fine. But I really want you to understand that, frankly, there's some really big dollar in the portions we're about to start talking about. So let's set the stage with this first one, and that's R&D. So with R&D, I want you to understand something that we're going to walk through an example. So let's say we got a light manufacturing facility, and let's say this were last year or even 5 months ago. So Kendra, because all these examples are going to be based on $5 million in expense. So here's what I want you to understand. You got a light manufacturing company. They do X in gross revenue. That's not what we're talking about. Then they spend some money, and a large portion of their expenses, whether it be payroll, equipment, whatever, can be claimed against the R&D tax credit. Mm-hmm. And that's the bucket that we're talking about right now.
Right. So narrowing in on that $5 million that you see on your screen right now, taking that, can I get a click? I'm so sorry.
I'll let you borrow the clicker.
What they did is they told the clients, we'll let you, do that, but you're going to have to split that up over 5 years. So we're going to make you amortize that over 5 years. So we can split that up evenly, million across. So that's $1 million a year.
So your $5 million you actually spent, it left your checking account. You don't get to deduct it. You break that down into
5 years.
$1 million. So apparently expenses.
So thank you,
and
government, for letting us do that. You're going to make me split it up over that amount of time. So basically, if we do a tax credit on that, you can take $65,000 over each year up to your 5 years. So it's going to take you up to 5 years to get your tax credit on that 1 year that you have this $5 million.
Now the $65,000 is an example. It could be more than that. It could be a little bit less, but it could be double that. It depends on the company and what they do, but it's an example.
So it totals, their credit is $325,000, which is a great credit for the R&D tax credit. But think about this. They don't even get to utilize it or see the full expensing of that for 5 years. But each year they're doing it again, right? What is the math on that, Ryan?
But here's the problem with this. So R&D, I've been doing the R&D tax credit for close to 25 years. And I can tell you the R&D tax credit has never been this way. This is new as of the last few years. And I'm going to call it for what it is. This isn't about whether or not you vote left or you vote right, or if you vote center, or if you vote whatever the case is, or if you don't vote at all. I'm going to tell you point blank that the previous administration, regardless of your feelings on them, this is the effort to absolutely gut the ability for a business owner to be able to take the R&D tax credit. They couldn't take it away because Obama actually made it permanent. So they can't get rid of it. They can't do anything. But what they can do is they can make it very hard to take. So understand you're a business, and let's say you spend $5 million on some payroll and some things like that. And so Kendra, out of my $5 million, I have a choice now. I can either not really claim that stuff to be these certain kinds of categories. I could write all 5 million off this year, or most of that 5 million off. Or they're saying, hey, if you want to take the tax credit, you greedy, dirty, disgusting business owners of America, then what we got to do is you got to divide that up, just the deduction of it, not even the tax credit. So what business owners are really left with is, hey, we can get you a $65,000 tax credit, but you, instead of being able to deduct $5 million like you should be able to, like you've always been able to, you're only gonna be able to deduct $1 million. That means $4 million of your expenses you're gonna have to pay 35% on. Do the math there, guys. $4 million, go ahead and pay it in. And how can they pay it in? They spent $5 million. It's basically their God-given right to say, I spent $5 million. What the last administration said is, no, you can claim $1 million of it and get $65,000, and then we're going to make you pay income tax on $4 million of it. So as your business owner, this is an opportunity that, okay, you really can't afford to do this. It's not worth the tax credit for many companies. Now,
talk about making it not worth doing.
Yeah, this is totally shifting. So Kendra, that same $5 million right now,
it is great because it is immediate expensing. So what that means, or full expensing now, what that means is they get to take that $5 million this year, which means they also get to apply
the full deduction,
the full tax credit to it. So full deduction this year, full tax credit this year, as it should, falls in line with the year that they'd had this expense, right? So would you rather do $65,000 over 5 years, and by the time you're in the 5th year, you're getting that last little chunk, or would you rather, as a client, have the $325 and the deduction for that this year?
Well, you look at this, and by the way, I told you it was going to be plain as the nose on my face when I say 5x on commissions. Very simple. If you had worked with this light industrial facility last year, we would have got them $65,000. This year, we're going to get them $325,000 instead. Since we're paid on contingent and you are paid in that same manner, you will literally make 5 times as much on an R&D account as you would have for the last 2, 3, 4 years. Now, there's another part to this that you've got to understand is, and this goes back to this harming of manufacturing here in America. And it's no wonder why we haven't been able to keep manufacturing here amongst all the other problems. But you look at this, a business owner would have to spend, in order to just forget the tax credit for a minute, just to be able to deduct the $5 million that they spent in year one, you'd have to spend $25 million in order to write off $5 million in order to get $325,000. Talk about a disincentive. This is where, it's just like, I can't afford to do business here in America. And you wonder why. This is why. Now a business owner spends $5 million. This is the way it should be.
Deducts
I'm sorry to get
$5 million.
Listen, let me do a quick exercise with you. I don't have any cash on me. If you're a small business and you make $100, you get $100, you collect it today. And then you go out and you have a t-shirt business and you're like, okay, I need to buy some more t-shirts. I need to buy some register tape for my cash register. And I think we need a new rug because the carpet's getting trashed. And you spend $100. How much money do you have in your pocket? Please, someone comment. Okay, you made $100 and you spent $100. How much do you have? Zero. Okay, someone's going to say it, but you have zero. Okay, so Uncle Sam comes around. He's like, hey, you need to pay me on what's left over. I'd be like, I don't have anything left over. They're like, okay, you don't own anything. That's the way it should be. The last few years, what the previous administration did is they said, no, you have 80 cents. Say, well, I don't.
But where is it?
I don't have 80 cents. They say, I don't know, but I need my third. And you're like, I don't have 80 cents. But don't worry about it because we gave you a 16-cent tax credit. Oh, see what we did there? Give us our third of our 80 cents, and we're going to give you a portion of, it's not even the whole 16 cents. We're going to give you a portion.
Over 5 years.
Yeah. We're going to spread it out a little bit, though. So you owe us all your money now, even though you spent it. That's what's been going on. Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Andre. Thank you, everybody. Absolutely. The right answer was zero. Now what goes on is, so I got my $1. I spent my $1. I get to write it all off. And guess what? On top of that, I get my tax credit. Okay. Because, which
then incentivizes that business to put more growth into our economy, more jobs.
And by the way, if you're like, oh, well, this is a rich privilege or something like that to have a tax credit, let me make this really simple for you. Every industrialized country in the world has an R&D tax credit. The fact that the last administration tried to make it almost impossible, if not impossible, to take this tax credit for a lot of businesses is just sickening. And I'll talk about retroactive in a little bit, but a little bit of spoiler. It's kind of like Trump isn't aware that he left office. I think that's whether you love him or like him. So he was in office up until, here's our timeline, right, Kendra? He was in office up till here, and now he's back. What this does, it's retroactive. He's like, I'm giving you your money back. Okay, that wasn't right, for the administration to take it, and I'm giving it back. So, good stuff there. Enough on the R&D tax credit. I think guys get it's really simple. You get paid more to sell R&D than you did a year ago. Clients make more than they did a year ago. I could quit right now, and R&D could be the biggest thing that you do for the next 5-6 months. I won't, because we have a president who owns commercial properties.
Yeah.
So,
so he's going to repair the benefits that cost segregation had before. He brought back 100% bonus depreciation. And for those of you who understand it, are clapping, because the minute they were doing the tier down.
If you don't know what bonus depreciation is, that's okay. We're going to explain it simply in a second, but he brought it back.
Well, that basically means they can write off certain things eligible in year one, certain things, or instead of over 5 or 15 years, it's like now money, because the stuff got bought and used now. So just like basically what Ryan was explaining with the R&D tax credit. And then properties for 2025, they get it at 100%. So they started it this year, which is great.
Yeah, it was going to be 0%, by the way. That's so anyone who built a property, they were all rushing to try to get them done in 24, because 2025 was 0%.
It has 0%.
You just get your 139th deduction, and that's it. So
now it's back.
Talk about
an
incentive to build. We're going to give you 0. That's back, and it's also extended.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give some math on this so you kind of understand. So that same light industrial facility that we just talked about right there, don't get confused. The number happens to be the same.
It's just easy math.
It's just easy math. So what I used here is they got a $4 million facility. And so last year they would have gotten $325,000. That would have been their benefit. 2024 was at 60%. It had already tiered down. And so if they bought a building last year, $325,000, that same building this year, they would be looking at $406,000. And that's a 25% increase. But obviously, Kendra, people can't really control as much when they bought buildings. Mm-hmm. So retroactive. Okay, again, going back to, I don't know that Trump knows that he wasn't president during those years, but he's decided he really doesn't care. So
it benefits our clients and it benefits us. So.
That's all I care. Listen, again, whether you despise the man or you have his bumper sticker on your truck, all of that aside, the changes that the big beautiful bill just made, you can't change those.
No, they're there.
Hate them, it doesn't mean anything, but you will make more money under it. That's the part I care about. And honestly, my clients too, because everybody wants to paint, this picture that these business owners, these nasty, disgusting business owners that are most of you on this call, by the way, that, we're just also filthy rich floating around in our yachts that we just need to pay our fair share. And maybe that's true for some people, but I got to tell you, I'm here in Michigan, manufacturing belt. I got friends that own restaurants, friends that own real estate offices, friends that own manufacturers. They're not Scrooge McDuck. They're not swimming in it. They're just like the rest of us. Like, sure, they're doing a little better. They're not, necessarily scraping by, but listen, they need this credit just like anybody else. And at the end of the day, now we can deliver it to them and we're going to make money on it. So that's cost seg. You don't need to understand the nuances of it. Here's the simple thing. If you did cost seg last year, getting 60%, depending on what year that your property was from, and now you get 100%. What does that mean? It means that on a $4 million building, or any building for that matter, you're going to roughly get 25% more benefit than you would have otherwise. So let's say that plainly. You go do a cost seg today versus last year or the last really 3, 4, 5 years, the client's going to get a quarter more than they would have, which means you're going to get a quarter more. Which, do we still have a commission bonus going? Yes, we do.
Through the end of the.
On top of that, you get a commission bonus.
Yep. And we have great questions coming in. We're going to hold them all and address them all at the same time, but keep the questions coming in because they are great, and we love to see the interaction.
Jack, if you'd make sure to star questions that aren't hey, hello. And by the way, we love the Thanks. Someone told me to preach it. Those are great. Jack, you don't have to star those, but I do appreciate the encouragement.
There was a couple, like I starred Neil's, and I think Dennis had a great question. So if you can, Jack, scroll back through and grab a couple of those parts.
So that is cost seg. Before we talk about retroactive, because that applies to everything, I want to talk about these new programs. And so, yeah, I think do I get to
jump right in?
Okay. So the next one is the FICA Tip Credit. Now, this is an employer credit. Kendra will talk about it here in a minute. It did exist already, or a version of it existed, but it's
just way better.
Yeah, it's been expanded. I think a lot of people misunderstand. All they hear about is, oh, I heard there's changes coming to employees, the local server at your restaurant, but they don't realize the impact this has for employers.
Mm-hmm.
So Kendra, let's talk about that a little bit.
Right. So basically it's a dollar for dollar tax credit. It's not a deduction. So it actually comes off of what they owe for their federal tax liability, which of all tax credits is our favorite. It's just cash money in their pocket. And then if you know anything about the way FICA payroll tax and tips work. So tips come from outsiders. We tip when we leave a salon or restaurant or whatever. And even though the owner of that facility isn't paying that to their employees, they have to pay the payroll taxes on it. That's just the way it's set up. So what this does, it allows those owners to recoup some of that payroll taxes, the portion of them they're paying out. Just helps to keep everything running smoothly. High tip industries are, restaurants, bars, salons. A lot of our main client base are going to be able to benefit from this credit.
So, this is in the tax management system. And so as far as I want you to understand some basics, you don't need to really know anything else on it. Besides, I'll give you a little bit. Someone that accepts tips at their business, and it's a minimum of 100,000 in tips per year. Yep. That may sound like a large, but that's a small restaurant or a small salon.
Yeah, it's not large. You'd be surprised.
There's not much money there, but so as long as they have at least 100,000 in tips, then as part of their tax management system, we're going to go out there and capture this credit for them. Do all the paperwork, everything we normally do.
I know you guys are asking the question, what do I do? Because I must have to do something different. You do nothing different.
Yeah.
You do nothing different except for maybe mention that it's a benefit to some of those industries you're already talking to, and let them know that the tax management system or our system will already look for it for them.
Yeah. So take them to your page, get them set up for tax management system. As they get in or using the system, this is yet one more program that we're capturing for them, capturing for you. So good thing there. If you have questions on that, put that in there, but we'll go through. So let's talk about retroactive refunds. Kendra, people absolutely love
getting a check.
Physical checks. You can get someone, Neil, I've just been picking on you a lot lately, but you've gotten clients, probably, some clients, $700,000 deductions, $2 million deductions, whatever the case is. People love not paying the IRS. That feels good. But there is this, they don't always understand it as much, not paying the IRS. They're like, oh, cool. I know I usually pay a lot, and this year I didn't have to pay a lot. Next year I don't have to pay anything. That feels really good. But man, when they get a physical check, there's just something
next level, honestly.
Yeah, really exciting.
We had a client one time send us a picture of them with their check. It was great.
Yeah.
I wanted to hang that one up. The interesting or the really wonderful thing about this is there isn't anything that they have to do. They don't have to invest more money. They don't have to change anything. It's based on something they did in the past. So they basically have thousands just sitting there in recoverable tax.
So
I think this one has a window too.
It does.
I don't know.
So the window, I don't have that right in front of me. I guess the important part to know is that this particular portion, at least as of right now, will end. Man, I don't even want to say.
Remember.
It does have a tight window. So you've got time. It's next year. It's not this year.
We have plenty of time to make this a huge impact on your 2026 income.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, right?
Yep.
That's what it boils down to.
So people are going to, now we're already seeing that. I mentioned, Kendra, that this really this started a while back. Normally July is here's what July sounds like. Are you ready? This is July usually. And, it's just business owners are gone. Everyone that was in a hurry went and did it in May or early June. And it's too far away from the August 15th deadline. I was blown away at the level of cost seg activity specifically in the month of July. And the first thing it is, I went in to look and see, did we just have like one or two big clients? Do we have a chain that signed up or what happened? No, it's just a lot of everyday clients, coming in and getting set up. So, but this has been something we're seeing across the board.
Right. And it's funny because our team brought it to our attention first. And Ryan sees the numbers constantly. I kind of work in a different area, so I'm not always looking at them. But our production team, especially Jaclyn, brought it to us multiple times. So we thought it would be a great idea to actually hear from Jaclyn. And we're going to share what she's been experiencing with you guys now.
For those of you who don't know Jack, she's been here a while. She's been here over 10 years. Yeah. So this is Jack.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jaclyn. I work here in the client and production side of things. A lot of you may be familiar with me, but I actually work with all of your clients after they've activated or during the activation process. So you may see some emails from me go out to your clients, or you'll be on a call with me. But I wanted to share a little bit of something that I've noticed lately, just because there's been definitely a shift. I've been here with the company for 10 years, so definitely something I haven't noticed before, but clients are activating way quicker than ever. I mean, I'm talking, you may have entered them into the system, so the initial email goes out on Monday. They're activating before the end of the week. Like, they're almost activating same day or next day. It's just easier for them. They're noticing that there's a savings and they want to take advantage of it. I'm talking like, I helped an advisor get a client into the system last week. They've already activated. We're going to be finishing them up next week. So the report's like literally in the final stages for cost segregation. So just so you know, that's definitely a shift I've noticed. Another thing I've noticed is that the clients that may have told us no 2 or 3 years ago, or maybe they just kind of fell off after we spoke to them and nothing's really happened with them, they're out of the woodwork just activating. They haven't even reached out to the advisors. They're just more so clicking that activate button from the emails that they've received, and they're getting started. A lot of them aren't even scheduling their kickoff call. They're just giving me the documents that we need so that we can get that completed even quicker for them. So it's definitely something strange to me, just different in a good way, because usually, a lot of times an advisor may have to reach out to them 4 or 5 times before we even get connection, whereas now they've had that connection from 2 to 3 years ago, and now suddenly they're like, you know what, I need to do this, so they're doing it. So keep that in mind, that even if you may have had a no from before, maybe they're going to, out of nowhere, just activate now. So that's a nice thing for you. Actually, I can share a story that comes to mind about that, is that we had a doctor's office that we did some of their actual practices. I think it was about 4 years ago that we did their initial study. So we did 2 properties then. And he, out of nowhere, reached out and he's like, I have 2 more practices that I own. I have rental properties. What can you do for me? And I'm like, hang on, I got you covered. So we just did 6 more properties for him. So keep that in mind, that the client's shift in their mindset is definitely there. They want to take advantage of whatever is available. So keep that in mind. It's definitely a great time to be an advisor. If you have any questions as the client's going through the system, you know where to find me. And I look forward to seeing all the new clients and all the new activity.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
We love Jack too. Some of the things that she talked about there that I want to touch on, that we're seeing a lot of, and I'll break it down to 3 categories. One is clients are activating quicker than ever before. So when you get them to your page, they're activating quicker than ever before. The second thing that, I heard her say, to paraphrase, is that it's kind of a no-brainer. Like, people are just, willing to do it. But the third one I want to focus on, because this has been a fascinating phenomenon to me. Fascinating phenomenon. I can't believe I didn't trip over that. So this has been fascinating to me, is the number of old accounts that we've had. So I'm going to tell you just a funny little story. So Jack, all of a sudden, at first she kind of almost thought something was wrong with the system, because she came in one Monday. This was just like 2 weeks ago. And she had a couple of people that said, I can't get to the cost seg activation page. And at first she was like, hey, I think I might have a problem. It was like 3 emails, over the weekend that was like, oh, what's going on? So we looked, and they were actually like 4 and 5 year old accounts that basically like the team leader had marked them closed lost. Or in one case, the client had put us on like, don't
call me
don't
anymore.
call me, don't anything. So we in our CRM, went in and marked them closed lost. And when something was closed lost, it basically required like an unlock before they could pay. So we had to go in our system and override this feature because we realized, and it wasn't just one, it was 3 times over the course of a weekend where a client came to us that was 3, 4, 5 years old and marked closed lost in our system. Like they told us to go fly a kite, frankly, is what's going on. And they came back to us. So I want you to understand how much more powerful that is. So if you've got people old in the system, you need to be out there in front of it, because this is almost embarrassing when we would communicate with them, but some of them told us.
The one that didn't, they reached out to us because they knew that they had remembered. And we do still send stuff every once in a great while.
I was talking about the closed lost
But the closed lost ones, we only send very little information when they're closed lost, just to, we're still their
once
tax
a year
credit provider to keep them engaged. And to have them then use the link, but the link not work because they said we don't want it in the past. Think about that, guys.
They had to go dig in their email and find something that was years old, and then go, so we were like, okay, I guess closed lost does not mean closed lost. So we've made that now.
It's a shift in mentality. We already talked about that earlier.
Yeah,
we really have to change the way we're thinking about this, because we've got this obvious change in mentality with our client base.
Yeah. So all of that money that's coming in, we can get out there. That's physical checks to the client. Going to make clients very excited. So Kendra, that's the that's kind of the overarching of the program. Sorry, I think I stole some of your notes.
That's okay.
There,
I just wanted to mention that I'm really glad that we got to hear from Jack. Jack leads a team in the production department. She's dealing with you guys every day. So many little messages that came in to thank her and appreciation for her. She's dealing with your clients every day. So to hear from her really helps solidify. Like we're saying one thing, you guys hear Ryan and I talk about stuff every single broadcast, but to hear from the team that's actually managing and doing that.
By the way, if you're like, that was AI, listen, the comments are like full of people that know Jack. So she's real. She's right.
And she's answering them right now.
I know. Jack's real. She's not AI. So the 6th program, I'm going to hold for just like, maybe 10 more minutes, because it's totally different direction. And I want to stay in this cluster that we're in right now. So we'll talk about that right now. Kendra, I can imagine some people, this is AI, by the way. Jack is not AI, but this is AI. If you didn't know, that's not
Fire doesn't grow out of your hand, but it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. So originally Kendra had this as me, and I'm like, I'm not standing next to AI Ryan while I hold fire. Let's make it a rando dude.
It was a cool image.
It was, but I'm not, anyways. So I can guess that some of you might be thinking, I guess, like, okay, this is good. Big, beautiful bill. Now I need like 9 to 10 months training on this. Where's the deep dive? Where's the SWOT? So I can go start talking to people. And, I want you to understand that for a couple of reasons, you can't afford to wait on this. One, you don't need to change anything. It's the same thing you've always done. I want you to think of this. I'll use your image here, Kendra. I want you to think of this like this is a conversation starter. I told you the same thing when PPP came out. I did a call right after it was released, and you guys said, "Oh, are we starting to offer PPP?" No, that's the banks and the other. But it was a conversation piece, and it went like this: "Hey, Kendra, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Did you guys take some of that PPP money?
Yeah, we got some. I don't know if we're gonna get the rest, but we got some.
Okay, great. Now, what about all the other programs? Now,
what other programs?
It was a transitional bridge, an excuse to talk about something, and then ERC was the same thing, but we actually got to offer that. And in this case, this is a conversation starter. You don't have some new sales process to do or some new marketing process. We'll show you some new assets here in a little bit. But Kendra, by and large, what this is a conversation starter where if Kendra owns a restaurant, I'll say, hey, have you seen all the changes under the big, beautiful bill for restaurants?
No, I had no idea. What are you talking about?
Well, let's take a look here. And normally I have my tablet in here. And hey, have you seen all the changes for manufacturers in the big beautiful bill?
No, I wasn't aware. What are you talking about?
Oh man, there's so much for manufacturers. And so it's this door opener, it's this opportunity. And I talked earlier, Kendra, there's billions of dollars in advertising going on, for one. Number two, people are used to taking tax credits now. It's part of their everyday business. And so now it's just having that conversation piece. And that, is a point, like I said, as you're talking to them, how's the landscaping business? How's the manufacturer? How's your hotel doing? How's the restaurant? Man, did you guys see all the changes for restaurants in the big beautiful bill? You're in conversation. That's it. So you don't need anything. You don't need any new training, although there are some things that you have coming.
Yep. My thing was I loved this image because my thought was you don't need anything new. You just need the tools and things you already have in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
Like you already have everything you need to be successful, like Ryan said.
Yeah. So let's talk about timing a little bit. Even though this already got signed, Kendra, I want everybody to kind of understand. I say I want as though I made any of these graphics. Walk them through this because you kind of understand where the timelines are.
Well, this is a quick timeline that runs from July 4th through the end of this year. And I only took it through the end of this year because I wanted to stay compact. I mean, July 4th was this huge point where there was this real shift in mentality and everything happening when that law got signed. And then this period right here between August and October 1st, which we've just wrapped up, I called this the quiet before the storm. Everybody kind of heard about it and they understood that there were these changes coming and they thought they were going to be beneficial, but like, what does that mean for me? And this is where you guys are right now. We are right before this huge cusp of time that I'm calling the decision zone. Already at the end of every year is when businesses have this perceived mentality that they've got to make decisions before year end about the financial stability, financial direction of their organizations. And they make huge decisions in this time period. What a better time be? Would there ever be a better time for us to be out there talking to them? No, it fits right into the existing time frame, the existing shift in mentality, rolling right up to January. Do you know what happens after January 1st? We re-engage for R&D for the next year. Every January 1st comes around, we do it again and again and again. They're evergreen clients. So this is a repeatable cycle, but you just happen to be in this amazing, compact, short window of time that's going to give you the ability to really compound what we're doing.
So this is for employers. This is for commercial property owners. This is for manufacturers. All of those categories, you have, if they're in business, you have something to talk to them about right now. And again, back to that concept, that last slide, it's just, you've got, I like your fire, it's like, look, there's something. Did you know there's something for you in the big, beautiful bill? And that's what you need to do. So let's break that down at its simplest high level of an action plan. Kendra, the first thing people need to do is they need to spread the word. Mm-hmm. You need to make it known that there is something in the big, beautiful bill that's not just for billionaires.
Exactly.
Okay. Despite all the argument from both sides on who it's serving, for everyday Main Street America, there is something. You need to get the word out and let people know that you're the guy, you're the gal that has access to this. Remember my pitch from before I've taught you? When people say, what is it that you do? You say, well, we're tapped into about $2.3 trillion. And my job is to get as much money of that out into the hands of Main Street as possible. Okay. Use that as your pitch. The big, beautiful bill has unlocked a lot of tax incentives for restaurants, for manufacturers, for hotels, whoever you're talking to. And my job is I work with the team that's job is to get as much of that $2.3 trillion out there into Main Street as possible. And that's your pitch. That's what you do. So you need to make it known. Kendra, the second thing they need to do?
We're going to make you do what's happening naturally here in the office. We're going to make you reignite connections. So you're going to reach out to past clients and past potential clients, especially anyone who would be involved in R&D, like real estate, manufacturing, construction. They're going to qualify. Just bottom line, they're going to qualify. You just need to remind them. If it hasn't like sparked some type of, light bulb because of the bill passing, it's your turn and your opportunity to do that yourself.
Yeah. You need to get them back to their page. The way you do this, you say, hey, we took a look at this back in 2019, back in 2021, whatever the case is. I'm not sure if you've heard, but under the big, beautiful bill, there's actually a lot of new benefits. So you should go in there because your benefits likely increased since the last time you looked. Even if they get there and it hasn't, do you think they remember what their benefit was back in 2017 or 2019 or whatever the case? It doesn't matter. They probably need that money more than they did. Now, the third thing you need to do is drive traffic. And this ties back to the other two. You need to be spreading the word to new people. You need to be reconnecting, reigniting those old connections. But either way, you've got to get traffic to your sites. And Kendra, you and the team here in a few, I'm sure you're going to have some, for the big, beautiful bill, I'm sure you got a big, beautiful toolbox of things that you can offer. This is going to put you in a position where 30 days from now, 60 days from now, over the next few months, you're in a good spot where you're out there seeing clients activate and your calendar's full, and Kendra, they're just, this is what we want.
And to do that, you're not reinventing yourself. You're literally just acting when we told you to act, where other people are hesitating. And if you have any of that fear of hesitation, you need to get rid of it right now.
Yeah. You need to use the pressure and the timing that we talked about of a deadline. Now, I'm going to let you in on a secret. There is no tax deadline December 31st, and yet clients are innately unaware of this. And that doesn't matter. They'll just say end of year. I got to get this done by the end of the year. Every year in the month of December, we have companies rushing to get their cost seg done because they need to get it done at the end of the year. We're not going to correct them. There's a natural pressure that takes place in the month of November and December.
Not only are we not going to correct them, we are going to capitalize on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this isn't hypothetical, guys. Like we mentioned several times, it's already happening. There's advisors who moved early. We're already seeing their commission spikes and we're happy about it. And we want to pass all of that on to you.
Yeah. And the real thing is, every week on Mastermind or virtually every week, there's, 2, 3, 4 people that talk, that share their commission story. We share some of those commission examples here on the broadcast. Are you going to be one that 30 days, 60 days, 90 days from now, you're just taking notes and hearing what other people do and now you want to try to catch up? Or are you going to be one of the people that's getting those commission checks and enjoying the wave? So
I think it's time for, let's see, door number 6, please.
It's so hard because I gotta tell you, I went back and forth sorry, I'm looking for my screen here. I went back and forth and not wanting to talk about the 6th credit because I'm almost nervous. Don't worry, I'm going to. This is not clickbait. I'm almost nervous that people won't catch this. The 6th one is exciting. I'm not trying to just ramp it up and build it up. My worry is that you won't take the gravity of what just happened, of what just became available to you, and that you'll just focus on this. And I consider myself a smart guy, and yet I don't have any answer for this besides begging you not to avoid going out there and talking to employers about the new FICA changes, talking to commercial property owners about cost seg, and talking to manufacturers in your area about R&D. So I implore you not to get just shiny red ball focused on what I'm about to show you. Can you do that, please? Because you'll be leaving at least half your paycheck on the table, if not 70%. Okay, I trust you guys. I trust you. So 6th program. So let's talk about that. And they are state level programs. And there's a number of them that we're going to focus on in particular. And you're seeing it right here when you say 5 and 10x your commission. I'm going to show you, bottom line, that's not some sales hype or anything like that. I'm going to show you, frankly, how to do that. Kendra, I think people are familiar. Last year, you talked a little bit about some state programs.
I actually shared this exact map. It was too difficult to remake, so I just stole it from last year. This is a map of everyone that has state R&D tax credits across the nation. Obviously, all credits are not created equal. But
the red are state credits.
Right. The gray don't have any currently, unless they have just changed in the last couple of weeks, which is possible. So don't text me and yell at me. But obviously, not every state is going to have the same level of credit. They're not created equal, but a bonus state credit is just that. It's a bonus on top of the federal level R&D tax credits. So some of them have hugely substantial credits right now that we can't take. There's no reason we should be avoiding this or ignoring it. We have to focus in and pull this in to what we're already doing and take advantage of it, not only for our clients, but for ourselves.
Yeah. So, let's talk about what this looks like. You remember the industrial manufacturing company, the light industrial we talked about earlier. So remember, under this, they would have gotten $65,000 in 2024. And we showed you that they're already 5X, they're already 5X under this because they're going to get 5 times the credit. They're going to get $325,000 in year one. Now, I want to start by the state where the chair that I'm sitting in, where my butt is right now, is in the state of Michigan. And so now we are like the manufacturing capital, some might say. And yet somehow up until like just a couple of weeks ago, we did not have a R&D credit here. So it's October 15th. I think technically for those that file on the 15th, that's the first that it will ever impact them. So ironically, we haven't had a tax credit here at all to work, with.
Right.
I sold half of your comments. That doesn't mean that we're together.
No, that you got it. You got it all.
I got it all. Okay. So let's look at kind of an example here, and we'll walk through the math. So you can at least
Brian gets excited sometimes, and then I'm like, you took all my talking points.
And sometimes I don't read the talking points in advance, so I don't know which ones. So let's go through. So manufacturer.
Well, what we're going to do now, we're going to take a look at that same manufacturer we talked about on a federal level, and we are going to compare it and pull in what its new state level credit would be. Yeah.
So $65,000 if you did it a year ago in 2024. In 2025, it'll be $325,000. So that's already that boost there. The Michigan State R&D tax credit
will add $250,000 to the already being received $325,000.
Now, this varies. This in some degrees, some might say is on the low end to the moderate
low to
end.
middle.
There are ways that they can make a lot more than that, but I don't want to get into that side. And by the way, this is one state, so if you're like, oh, I'm not in Michigan, we'll talk about that in a minute. But so we're adding another $250,000 so that we don't have to do the math here. That's $575,000, and that's the year one benefit. That's not even the look back. Now, you might remember for 2024, same program, or 2023 or 2022, $65,000. Now, listen, before you shoot me and you say in the state of Michigan, $65,000 versus $575,000, I know the slide says 10X, and that's probably like 9.4X. 10X just sounds way better. You got it. So in the state of Michigan, we're looking at whatever that is, a 9.4X. It doesn't, the client's not going to complain about that. If you go in and you say, hey, the credit's tenfold what it used to be, they're going to be on board here. They were getting 65,000. Can you imagine that, Kendra? If somebody told us, they came in and said, hey, Ryan, hey, Kendra, for your business, I'm going to get a $65,000. We're like, 65 grand. That's amazing. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, by the way, we did the paperwork. Turns out it's $575,000.
Yeah. Over $500,000, you guys. Over $500,000 versus 65.
First year. We get to claim that every year.
Yeah, it starts over every single year. And like we talked about earlier, we broke it down for you so that you can understand why and how they get it this year and why that matters. Now multiply that up to over $500,000.
Yeah. So when you look at this, understand that Michigan isn't the only market like this. We're doing something kind of exciting. So we've got 5 other markets that we're going to unveil and we're going to talk about, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But Kendra, I guess I want people to, am I stealing your note about saying they're not here? Sorry.
Yep.
Which one? Go ahead. So Kendra, I'll tee you up here. What if they're not in Michigan or one of these other states?
I've actually already seen the questions coming in. So we're doing something very unique. You don't have to live in the state that this market is. excuse me, if we focus on the first one being the state of Michigan, you do not have to live within the state of Michigan to play. You don't have to live in the state of Michigan to have a client here. Everything that we're going to develop with this special program that we're launching is going to allow you, no matter where you live, if you're working outside the United States, it doesn't matter. You can still communicate with them in specific states. You have the same playing field as anyone else.
Yeah, think about this. Like for those of you familiar with underpayment audit, this is where Jason worked with everybody and said, hey, there's this massive opportunity. Here's the largest of the largest opportunities. Dan, I'm not sure if you're on the line, but if so, comment. Dan, just curious, I'm putting you on the spot here. Dan's one of our team leaders. I mean, how many underpayment deals have you closed in other states that aren't your state? Dan, if you're on, please, by all means. I mean, I see your deals come through all the time for underpayment, but at the end of the day, you don't have to be in that area. You need a great approach
in a way.
Yes.
That's acceptable to the client on that approach. And we've already got that. So like if you're using that as some kind of, I can't do this, I don't live in one of these 6 markets, I'm just going to act like it doesn't exist, easy way out. No, I'm going to pull that card from you right now. You don't get to use that card because we have a system and a process that allows you to work on the same playing field as anyone else. You could work at the same level as Ryan sitting right here in the state of Michigan in the Michigan market.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter where these other 5 markets are. We're actually releasing those on a separate call for a couple of reasons. This is live. And someone
give all of our tips and tricks and stuff.
Well, how do I want to say this is public and the other one will be secure? Let's say it that way. We're not going to roll out our strategy in a live stream YouTube type format where competitors can see it. I'm going to call it for what it is. Sorry, competitors.
They do like to watch and
they do like to watch and they do like to steal our pages and things like that. What I want you to know is that Michigan is not the largest program. It's one of the largest. There are 6 markets. You don't need to be there, like Kendra just said.
On that, it's not the largest. It's the impact it could have on your bottom line. That's why we're starting with Michigan, not because it's where we live. We're starting because it is brand new, and the impact it will have on your closing rate and the push in commissions because you're adding the state to the federal is going to be immense.
What you need to be willing to do is reach out to places outside of your market, just like you guys did with underpayment audit. We're going to give you the tool set and teach you how to do it. In fact, we're doing something kind of exciting.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
we're going to kick off a SWAT group. We haven't done a SWAT like this in a really long time. So I'm excited. This is where we're going to go full force. It's going to be a focused, rapid response team. And we are going to focus on these 6 high opportunity markets with you.
We're going to teach you how to do it, what to do. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we're doing this in a way, I think this is the first time that I can remember in the last 20 something years that we got a little bit of a power team going on here.
Yeah, we've never all 3 done one together.
So at this point, this is such a large opportunity that really what we're saying is, it's funny, you're going to laugh, but like I look at this and I know what you bring to the table. I know Jason brings this overall strategic approach and drive. I guess if I had to say, I bring scripting to the table. I don't know. I'm sure I
it's
bring
much more than that.
So, I do know how to both cold and warm market. Kendra understands funnels.
You understand the psychology behind communicating with the clients. And I think that's one of the hardest things for most people to grasp. And I honestly think it's the one thing that holds most of the advisors back.
One of the things, if a lot of you, Jason, myself, Kendra, if you've probably seen us in action, in many ways, we really lack overlapping egos, if that makes sense. Like I'm never competing with Jason on like, I'll handle that part. And Jason's never really competing with me and I'll handle that. This is really, I'm excited about this because for the first time, it's just literally like, no one knows how to go out there and like demolish an industry. I mean, that is like tackle an industry like Jason does.
Absolutely.
And then I have the things that you just mentioned that I bring to the table and some of the strategic approach. I think I'm pretty good at scripting and pretty good at seeing funnels and understanding conversion. And then Kendra, talk a little bit about, it's your 3rd bullet, by the way. I didn't take it this time. Talk a little bit about what you and your team are.
We've already got a lot of it done, but we're talking about custom marketing assets, ready to deploy messaging, client playbooks, bonuses, bonus commission levels, and more. I'm not going to give too much away. There were some questions earlier, like, are we going to get marketing about this or marketing about that? Some of those things will be pulled into this too, but it's an entirely Nothing is going to be recycled in this program. Everything's going to be new and fresh and at your disposal if you choose to participate in SWAT. And no, I'm not making it available to everybody else. I am making this only available, my portion anyway, to the people who decide to commit to the SWAT team.
Now, support told me to make sure to mention 4 letters, FREE. This is free. It doesn't cost anything. I guess our SWATs normally do have, and understandably so. Listen, we put in a lot of hours to our marketing team. There's costs to cover and things like that. So I won't ever apologize that we, charge for the things we charge for, but I guess this one has no charge. And so support told me, make sure to mention that this is free. Listen, what we're looking for, we'll show you how to apply in a minute, but
can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Anybody who's interested, who thinks that this is an amazing idea, as we do, I want to see your feedback in the chat, because we live off of what you guys provide back to us. This is huge for us. We want to know, are you excited about it? What kind of questions do you have about it? Like, are you interested in being involved in it? Do you think it would benefit you? Do you know people that could qualify for?
I wonder if they're like excited about a SWAT that's 3 of us, or like, holy crap, that's a train wreck.
I know it's too much.
Listen, we're not all going to talk at the same time.
No.
It'll be fine. We'll have sections.
It's going to be spread out over weeks. You guys are good. We will give it to you only as you need it.
Yeah. I never thought about that. I assumed they'd be excited, but I wonder if anybody's like, oh, wow, Jason and Ryan on the same call. I don't know. We're both talkers, but I promise we'll divvy the time up. So I wonder if anybody's like, I bet that's going to be an 8-hour SWAT call. So
no.
Won't.
You see some of these people, they do like, I'm going to do a 3-day summit.
Yeah.
Hell no, I don't want to sit for that long and listen. This is going to be usable information provided to you guys in a format that you'll enjoy. Promise.
Right. I'm going to show you how to apply. You do have to apply. And Jason and his team are handling the criteria for
Here's
that.
our favorite, Kate Johnson. Super excited.
Hey, Kate.
I'm going to pull her in and interview stuff.
Yes. Kate was on an interview a couple months ago. All right, let's quick fire this part, and then I want to share my screen and show some of these. So a couple of things that you're going to do is one, you're going to get out there and we've got a blueprint for you.
Obviously, as we do every month, you're going to step in. These are 3. They build off each other.
Okay.
I'll do it. You're going to step in. You're going to get your blueprint. You're going to sign up for SWAT 2.
Oh, I'm supposed to read 2. So you're going to
you're going to gear up. You're going to go into your blueprint page and you're going to use the tools that we give you. Number 3.
Go ahead.
You are going to sign them up
for free, by the way. So, and we've got some landing page, some things like that. So Kendra, I want to get in. I want to show those things right now.
For those of you who are like, what the heck is she doing? Ryan usually does the emotional build stuff. So that was like supposed to be boom, boom, boom. So
that was good. You want to try it again? I can back it up.
No, I'm good.
Heather can edit it out tomorrow and just bring that stuff. So, all right. I have to share my own screen because Heather is not.
Just for those of you know, don't worry. Heather had a family thing that she had to take care of. She will be back with us shortly.
Yeah.
So we do miss her and we're all thinking about her, but she is okay.
2 days off per year, and today was one of them. So no, she gets more than that. So she's been here a long time as well. So, okay, let's talk about the blueprint. This is your page that you're on. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. I need to start one page before that. Kendra, entertain them while I
sign them up. So. That's right. You're going to get everybody to your landing page or a call, and they're going to transfer into a client, and everything's going to be worth more because R&D is worth more. We're going to focus on state credits, and cost segregation is worth so much more, guys. This is where I get to have personality.
Yeah.
When we wait for Ryan to fill the page.
There we go. You always have personality.
There we go.
Okay. So on the page, the very page that you're likely watching on. So there's a couple of things. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, then just go back to this page. It would actually be, YouTube would be opened in a different tab. So you'll see right at your browser, you'll be able to like go back to this page. You might remember this page. And you'll just scroll down until you see blueprint. If you're watching on the screen, don't do this right now because you'll lose your feed.
You will literally kick out.
If you're watching on the screen right here and commenting, scroll up when we're done and click blueprint. So one way or the other, and if not, watch for your email from Kendra. That will take you to your blueprint. There's a couple of things. At the top, there is a banner here. Am I in the right one, Kendra?
Refresh.
Oh, there we go. Don't click there right now because I'll take you down to the SWAT form. But that's where you get to the SWAT form. and we'll cover that here in a minute. But let's talk about the blueprint. Kendra, as I scroll, you can, well, I do want,
Well, there's a bonus.
okay.
And this was all you. So if you want to handle.
All right. Remember that I said that you need to get the word out. You need to make it known. So there is a press release right here.
Those of you who've been around for a while, we did a press release pre-COVID. Like this was a while ago. And there was, when TCJA came out.
Yeah.
And we allowed you guys to utilize all the benefits of it. And we built it as you. This is a press release in your name, your state, your information that you get to send out, just alerting everyone to the fact that this has passed and what it means for businesses in your area. So this is a great kind of additional tool that we're going to put out there for you. So
you need to, this is a good way, email this over to people. This is yours. You're going to see it's customized to you. So I'm on my page. So that's why you see
Michigan.
Ryan Maddock.
Do you see in the header, it says MI. So it's going to have your abbreviation for your state there.
All the social shares are right there. So people that visit can just turn around, or you can just come to your page and just share it right from here. You're going to see your information. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but through new legislation passed and by the swift action of Ryan Maddock, or that's going to have your info there. So this is designed, it tells them really who qualifies as a conversation piece, takes them to your calculator. It's got your email address, your name, your phone number, all of this stuff that's here.
I want to point out expert local. If you go to that section,
Sorry about that.
Expert local support. This is your name has been appointed the local incentive specialist for your state, working in partnership with Growth Management Group, GMG, a national firm with over 19 years of experience, blah, 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 blah. Like not only is this so yours, we're actually building you up and creating you as the incentive specialist for your area. So for that reason, only make sure to get this out there. It gives you more credibility, makes you have a pretty good standing when people are thinking.
Yeah. If nothing else, send this to your mom and tell her that you got featured on GMG Weekly. She won't know that's not a real thing. And she'll be really proud that I thought I'd get a laugh out of that. So,
Mom, look, I have a press release.
Exactly. But no, send this to friends, send this to family, post this out there. You can even say, hey, I was just featured on, no one knows we're not a publication. We're not, hey, I focus on a national publication. Our website is a national publication. So you're fine. You're telling the truth there.
We already have people
You can
asking.
say, hey, look, I was featured on this. You can send it to your local chamber and say, hey, I'm really excited because my business was focused on a national publication.
That actually opened a lot of doors for advisors the last time we did this. A lot of presentations were built out of it being shared in that manner, group things. It was great. It's just a great way to get your name out there in a very unobtrusive way.
Yeah. So that is one tool. So I'm back here. I am on what's called the blueprint. And, again, we showed you how to get to that. So on the blueprint, there's a couple of things. One is your press release. The other is who you should be talking to. This is for inspiration.
There was a question earlier on the industries that qualify for R&D. Honestly, if you come here and you look under that manufacturing section, they're not just manufacturers. And that's why I'm pointing that out. That would be a good place to start. And I think there's 16 or 18 of them there.
Yeah.
But there's tons more. This is just a starting place for you.
Here's some email templates. And again, we're making sure. So quick heads up, there's some big updates everyone's talking about. It's called the Big Beautiful Bill. Not to blah, 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 but blah, blah, blah. This has your link, your name, everything there. All you have to do is cut and paste.
Yep.
It's a little tricky with the flip-flop box, but you can.
Yeah, I'm thinking about changing it, but
you can grab it. So there's email close contact and email general, as well as, Kendra, these beautiful. Now these are premium, by the way. So
yeah,
it says
the
premium.
HTMLs are premium because I have hosted content on them, and I have to pay for that.
Only thing on this page that costs money. So if you're in premium, these are some of the assets. For those of you that are in premium, that's $99 a month. You have these, as well as all of our premium social templates and things like that. But if not, you've got all these verbal scripts, meet in person scripts, a lot of different things. And at the bottom of the page, there's how to do follow-ups. There's social posts.
I did add an entire row of R&D. Now, I did see questions about socials that are going to be focused on Big Beautiful Bill. I'm actually going to hold those back for SWAT group right now. Eventually, they'll make their way over to probably premium, but right now they're going to be held for the SWAT group. But anybody can join the SWAT group.
These are free for anyone right here, even if you're not in SWAT. There'll be more in SWAT. And if you're in premium, there are dozens and dozens more that are there for people. There's some Q&A stuff. And then here at the bottom of the page is SWAT. All you do for SWAT is fill this out. Jason and his team will handle. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if everyone's accepted or if there's going to be some taken criteria. So he has some questions here. Don't let that scare
you off. There are some questions about your background, the type of businesses you know. If you don't know or you don't feel like you have some kind of business background, tell us about your business background. On the next section, it asks you about the type of businesses you know. Just fill out the ones you know. Don't let that intimidate you in any way for signing up for SWAT, please.
Whether or not you're in premium, a question like that, I just want to tell you, this has no bearing whether or not you're in SWAT or not. We just like to know which assets that...
It helps me know which assets I can use.
If we know, 70% of the people are already in premium and they have access to this. Or if we're like, only half the people are in premium, we might need to, so that's all that's there for. So that is all on that page. And the way you get there to SWAT is right at the top of the page. You can click there and it'll take you all the way to the bottom. You fill this out, and we're going to have some upcoming sessions. I saw someone ask, when does SWAT start? Right now, we're just getting all the applications in. And in the coming weeks, then we'll get
You'll know
invites out
before
and
the
things
next
like that.
broadcast.
Yeah. Any questions we need to cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Neil brought it up, and there have been several people who have asked the question. So if a client did a cost seg in 2022, 23, or 24, oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. How or what do we do to do retroactive for that?
Get them in for a call, and we'll take a look at that if they already did cost seg, and we'll see where the benefit is there. A lot of times, especially if we can lump other improvements or other things, then we can look at what's the best way to handle that.
Yep. Sorry.
You're fine.
Do states that don't have a state R&D credit have access to federal? Yes, absolutely. Everybody across the nation, as long as they're a part of our United States of America, have access to the federal R&D tax credit.
So I don't get to use my sound effects nearly enough. So.
This was the list on whether or not there was a full list of clients that would qualify for R&D. Tim, reach out to support because there's an article that breaks this down. You can find it if you go searching when you go to the support button, you can type in your question. It'll pull the article up for you.
Well, and actually part of that is the list of states that offer the most R&D.
Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong.
We're going to be covering that during SWAT, and that is part of that 6-part strategy. Sorry, let me go back to that. So that is part of what we'll be doing right here. When we go through this, we're not only going to be talking about the 6 markets. It's not something we want to talk about on a public call, to be honest. Not that this is public. Everyone here is a partner, but
everybody's asking.
Yeah,
it's just
I'm sorry.
It's like giving away the secret sauce, you guys. We have to retain that for you. If
we get copied so much by others that we want to be in an ultra secured environment where we talk about the 6 markets and not to, I don't mean to the greatest marketing minds of all. No, I'm not putting us on some kind of level, but
no,
you got to say Jason's experience combined with my experience combined with Kendra. This is a powerhouse of information that we're going at this, and we don't want anybody besides a select group of advisors that are in a secure. I imagine this will probably be on a Zoom, not on a live stream. We don't want anybody to know what it is we're doing outside of that. Now, anyone on this call that applies, we want you on there, but we don't want to risk competitors seeing what we're doing. I would imagine this is going to involve a list of who to get in front of. For as long as I've worked with Jason, he's going to have a really, really good, easy way to get in front of people. He's going to have a killer offer that people don't want to say no to. Kendra's going to take all of that and combine it and put our whole marketing team behind it. It's just, not to play it up too much, but
I'm going to add to that.
Imagine a baller strategy.
Yeah. And imagine the disappointment. Some of you have been involved in Summer Breeze. We put a lot of work in the marketing department. Imagine my frustration, disappointment when I found out that somebody had tried to duplicate that and basically stole everything right off of our pages. So we have to keep things behind a little bit of a wall for you, and that's for your benefit only.
Yeah, I love this. So after learning about these gems, how do we stay focused on TMS when building relationships with the owners? So I view TMS, and let me switch over to sharing my screen for a moment. So let's say we're coming in here. I'm going to take this email here, and here I'm going to grab this link. I didn't get all the links. Sorry. I'm going to answer your question in just a second. So, regardless, when we're sending an email or whatever the case is, if we're sending someone to a blog article or to your press release or whatever the case is, it's all going to end up right here where someone says, I have 100 employees. I hire 25 people annually. I own this much in commercial property. And so as they're going through that, we're going to show them literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in benefit. And the way that I look at this is, Tap, you always have such like great comments. Put in there what, if you want, what your first name is, because I never know how to address you. But the way I view this, kind of back to that magic flame thing, Kendra, is this is the thing that starts the conversation. So whether you're like the things that Jason's going to teach you how to say in going into these markets, what you're really doing is you're saying there's this amazing thing, and I want to get you over here and I want to get plugged into this system, because Tap, you're ultimately scratching at something here that's very true, and that is we don't want to just get them a one-time cost seg credit. We want a client for life that we're getting quarterly tax credits for on WOTC and HUD Zone and all those other. We're getting annual credits. Thanks, Don. We're getting annual credits on R&D and on some of the other things, and we're getting cost seg every step of the way. Now, remember Jack's story earlier about the medical client? So I think that's great that they reached out and that they thought of us. If they were a TMS client, we'd already be doing their WOTC. And in the course of their normal course of business, we would have already unveiled this credit a year ago for them, or 6 months ago, or whatever the case is, or as it went, rather than coming back. And great job to Jack and the team for getting 6 properties closed. But when you don't get your client into TMS, how many deals do we miss out on long term? And for those of you, by the way, if you're new and you're like, what's TMS? Tax management system. It's QuickBooks for tax credits. It's $9 a month. We plug clients in, and that's where this process leads. So when they go through this, we're going to ask them either they can still do cost seg as a one-off, R&D as a one-off, but we're going to try to get them in our platform, not because I'm like, man, we want their $9 a month. But because we know with that doctor's office, every time they're entering a new employee, we're gonna say what location they work in. They're gonna click add new because they have a new location. Boom, that's a tax credit. Okay?
What work are they doing?
Yeah.
What type of work?
Do they have any clients that would qualify for some of these new programs? Do they accept tips at their doctor's office? I don't know. I mean, maybe
a med spa.
Yeah, we don't know what kind of medical office it is. So that's a good question on that.
Mike has a good question. He said, is there still time to do a brand new cost seg for a business that's preparing to file their 2024 taxes by this October 15th? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. It's only the 6th.
Jack may say some bad words under her breath. Actually, I've never heard her say a bad word, but she can get it done. I think
I've heard her say, gosh darn it, before. And so she may say, gosh darn it.
You need to get into Jack and see if she can't get it pushed through for you. I know she can, but you got to work pretty quickly.
Yeah. Is there a quick list of 40 plus industries that qualify for R&D? So Chuck, it's not with R&D, it's not necessarily industry, but it's type of work that they perform. I can broaden it to say most manufacturers, most software companies, most companies that make technical improvements to their processes and things. But that doesn't mean it's limited to that. We're a consulting firm and we take the R&D tax credit because we have employees that perform that type of work. Mm-hmm. So good question there.
Just scrolling back to see if we missed your question. We've got a lot of the scroll for questions is pretty deep. Go ahead and paste it in again on the bottom just to make sure that if it's applicable, we get it covered.
Oh, that was Jack's reply. Sorry.
I don't see any more coming in.
Did we cover that one?
I think that means we amazingly answered everyone's questions.
Okay.
Today.
Are you guys excited about SWAT? Are you nervous about Jason and Ryan and Kendra being on the same call? Just be honest. Or are you really excited about that?
Maybe we'll spread it out so they're not overwhelmed.
So yeah, I think people like that. So you're going to get a lot of things, but remember what I told you a little bit ago is that you can't afford to wait. This isn't like I was so terrified to do a SWAT and do this other program because I was worried that then you're just going to sit. So you're not going to sit. What you really need to do is, let me go back sharing my screen here. Let me go back to the blueprint. You need to, if nothing else, you can take this press release here that's got your name, your information on it. It's on a page that you're, all your info is right in the footer, and this is your page, leads to your calculator. You need to get the word out. And Kendra, I don't think it's any easier than you're going to grab this URL up here and you need to text this to people. And you need to LinkedIn message it to people.
Yeah, LinkedIn, it looks great on LinkedIn because it pulls in the picture too.
Yeah.
Just use it, add it to your byline, like make it a link though that says current press release and link it or something like that. But it can be used in any manner.
You can post this out and say, super excited, my press release got picked up by a national feed, whatever the case is. So as you're putting those things out there, it's not downloadable, by the way, only because we like it to be interactable. But I mean, Kendra, we don't care if you want to cut and paste stuff, this is yours.
You can download it, you can pull it into a PDF. There's lots of little tools you can use that'll turn that page into a PDF. It's yours. Do whatever you want with it. I didn't make a PDF download link because
we like to keep it interactive so that when people click, they're getting over to those calculator pages and things like that. But it's your press release. You can, you want, but use your email templates. Use your press release, get out there and be talking to people. Do you have one more you want to cover? Or so there's a question from, I'll cover that real quick. So can you please clarify what percentage we take on each program? So I can quickly do this on, this is going to auto calculate as you go through that calculator page that I was on sorry, I lost it right here. So, this auto calculate based on that. What we're going to do is we're going to go find a benefit. We're going to present a fee to the client. Some of them are really straightforward, like with WOTC, FICO, those things like that. That's just, it's 15% on a lot of the employer credits. R&D ranges based on size of company, but I think it's 35%. Property tax abatements are half. Cost seg, we actually under section, oh my gosh, I can't believe it slipped my mind, but circular 230, we actually can't charge a fixed percentage, but generally our fee is generally a tenth or less, and we present that up front. There's no guessing, but we can't just come out and say cost seg is 10%. With WOTC, we can say things like that, but cost seg, we have to follow the IRS guidelines on fee structures, and we do. But basically, when they go through this process, we're going to say, we found you this, it's going to cost you this, do you want to do it? And getting them to this page. Now, Kendra, 37.5% of the people that come to this page ultimately end up in a fee. So,
which is a crazy conversion rate. So the more people you can get to this page, the more opportunity you have for the conversion.
Yeah. So you need to use your press release, use your email templates that Kendra and the team have pulled together. You need to get the word out, apply for SWAT right away. But don't wait. SWAT has nothing. SWAT's like a whole other strategy. Remember those 6 boxes? SWAT is 1/6 of it. What you need to be doing in the meantime, and Kendra, I'm going to kind of close. Let me get rid of the screen here. And there we go. What you need to do in the meantime is you need to get out there and have some conversation. Let me leave you with a script. It's really easy. So there's 2 ways to do it. One is the what I do script. Okay. So if you meet someone and it's what do I do? I'm going to give you the crux of it and then I'll role play it. You're basically telling them that there's a lot of money that's available for local, state, and federal business. Or I'm sorry, there's a lot of local, state, and federal money available for businesses. And you work as part of a team whose job it is to get that money out there. So that's the crux of it. So Kendra asked me what I do. We're at the pool bar. Hey, how are you?
So what do you do for a living?
Well,
I threw you off, didn't I?
Okay, but that was fine.
That was nice to meet you. What do you guys do for a living?
Well, I work with a group that we take, there's some federal funds that are available, and my job is to get those funds out in the hands of, small and mid-sized companies.
This is an actual response I've heard people say to this.
Yeah, because I do this all the time.
Wow, that sounds amazing. You probably don't have any difficulty reaching people, do you? You're just gonna really just getting money to them.
Yeah, I've shared this. So she's heard this so many times at the lobby bar, the pool bar, the Bali bed in Mexico. Like vacations are a great place, by the way, to score business. But again, the crux of that is I work as part of a team whose job it is to get money out into the hands
People are going to be
small
amazed
and mid-sized businesses.
when you tell them that that's what you do, whether or not they're a client or a connection to a client, they immediately engage you because they've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
And it is intriguing and they want to know more. So be comfortable and casual like Ryan was. That is the best way to initially engage somebody.
So let me say that slow for you with there's some keywords there. Small and mid-sized businesses, work with a group. Our job is get the money. So I'm just saying, well, you've probably seen there's all these federal programs and things and money for businesses. I work with a group that gets that money out into the hands of small and mid-sized businesses. And that's what I do. And then that always leads to a follow-up question. From there, I slip in, here's something for your notes, 2.3 trillion.
Yeah.
So, so it's $2.3 trillion available. And our group's responsibility is how much of that can we get out into the local economy? Because that we just know that's going to add jobs. That's going to, okay, this is where you start to put your hero hat on, start doing that. Now, Kendra, that's cold. That's you meet somebody at the lobby bar. I talked to someone not too long ago. They were waiting for a meeting at a hotel bar, got talking to someone, used that pitch, got the client. Okay, it works. It's easy. Who wouldn't sign up there? You're some random dude or gal that is tapped into trillions of dollars of money, and you have this weird job they've never heard of to get that out there in the hands of small and mid-sized businesses. Okay, you're going to be popular. They're going to get your number. Bottom line, you're going to get their email address. You can get them to your page. You can get a coffee meeting. Now, when you're running into people you know, okay, I'm going to split this into two camps, and we talked about this a few months ago. So one way is if you want to be the guy or gal versus if you want to have a buddy, okay? And so like, if you're on my page, which I was just on, if you follow my calendar link through, you're going to see my team leader is actually Kate Johnson. She's my team leader. All of our team leaders are amazing. It's just Kate and I gel together. And at one point, my account I'm an advisor just like all of you. And Kate is my team leader. And so sometimes I will be the guy and I'm the guy. I'm the dude. I'm the tax expert. And other times I have a buddy. And so let me tell you different times to use that. I think you know instinctively, like if I'm meeting Kendra, and Kendra knows me as Ryan the Realtor, and she knows me inside and out as Ryan the Realtor. I've sold her 2 homes. I sold her a vacation home, that kind of thing. Then me all of a sudden being a tax expert isn't really the message I want to convey. And so then I have a buddy, and I'll cover that pitch in a second. The other way is Kendra knows I own a consulting firm or I own a real estate practice, but we have a tax division. So let me talk about that first way. First way, I'm the guy, I have a division or we have a division, that kind of thing. So, hey, Kendra, how's the, the West property working out for you guys?
It's going okay.
Family all happy there?
I mean, nobody's ever happy, but I am. So that's good. It
That's
matters.
cool. And how's your business? I drove by the other day, parking lot looked full. Looked like business is good.
Right. Everything's going smooth. I think we're luckier than some have been recently.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you remember, but as part of our real estate firm, we have a business tax division. We don't do tax returns, but what we actually do is we help businesses find tax credits.
I wasn't aware of that.
Okay.
I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's a good time. As part of the big, beautiful bill, there's actually some new things just for restaurants.
That's that thing Trump did this year, something like that, right?
We've been doing this for 2 decades. There's already been a bunch of programs, but they just kind of got quite a bit sweeter under the new program.
Okay.
It's a pretty easy process. And this is where you're just into the calculator. You say it only takes about 60 seconds. You're either setting up an appointment or you're just breaking it out right there. I always have my I like walk around with my iPad mini under my armpit. Like Kendra can tell you, like everywhere I go, keeps my hands free, but I can be in it just like that. She can tell you, I literally, everywhere I go, I have that thing. So that is we have a division approach. So it's, as part of our real estate firm, because so many of our people own businesses, we actually have a specialized tax division. That's a better way to say it than the way I said it a minute ago. We have a specialized tax division. Now, under the big, beautiful bill, there was a bunch of new stuff for restaurants. So that's one way. Second way, buddy approach. So I meet Kendra. We'll go through the same thing and run a little bit over on time, but that's okay. So, hey, Kendra, how's the West property? Is family all happy and everything?
Yeah, everything's going great over there. Thanks so much. Like, we would have never known it was available without your help.
Yeah, no, that's good. So I was going to ask you, I keep hearing, so a bunch of my clients all just got like huge amounts of money from the big, beautiful bill. Did you guys tap into that?
That's been on the
FOMO.
news, right?
Yep.
That's that Trump thing. You're saying people got money, like people that own businesses, or what? What's the deal?
Listen, I got a buddy, Kate, I got to introduce you to. She's like all over this stuff. I don't know a lot about it personally, but she's like all over it. Let me get you, like, I got to get you on Kate's calendar. She was just telling me about a manufacturer the other day, or a restaurant like you guys. She had like 170 grand from the big, beautiful bill.
And these are like, this is legit. These are people you've worked with?
I've known Kate for years. So Kate's, she's my kid's goddaughter. So, so I'm in it. I'm on my page and I am booking. I'm on my Let's Talk page, which you better have bookmarked on your phone. And I'm booking an appointment with Kate. Now, this is where, now I can tell you, Kate, if you're still on, you probably had another call. So, Kate, do you care if they, or Chris or Dan or everybody else, all the other team leaders on the phone, you can all pipe in here. Do you care if they tee you up as like the specialized tax, whatever, like you have a specialized tax firm and you're their buddy and they've known you for years, versus like they take, like, please, by all means, let's see if, I don't have any comments back yet, but I can tell you, we just interviewed Kate a couple months ago. Chris,
she
a
had
month
a call
before
at
that.
4.
Okay. So, Kate's on.
She's there. She is.
Kate. So yeah, she doesn't care.
Nope.
You know what? Kate makes the same amount of money, whether or not you tee her up as a peer of yours, or you have her do all the work, or you do 90, she does 10. She doesn't care. You know what Kate does? Kate is a beast. She's in beast mode 24/7, closing your deals. And so is everybody. I don't mean to, Kate's just my team leader. So that's why I'm kind of picking on her, but they're all like that. Jason wouldn't have them as a team leader if they weren't just in straight beast mode on your deals. So what you need to do, for those of you that have a team leader, is you just need to get your person. Team leader is part of premium, by the way. If not, we have other people that can do those calls. And what you need to do is you just need to get them on the phone, however you feel doing that. So you can be like, we have a division, and Kate doesn't care if you're like, yeah, this is Kate. She works in that division. She heads up that division.
She doesn't care if you call her the manager of the division. She doesn't care if you
head
call
of
her
the director of whatever.
She doesn't care.
She doesn't care. She's in beast mode. She's closing your deals. That's what it comes down to. And so is everybody else. So you can be the head dude or the head gal, and Kate can be, or your team leader can be, the person that's kind of assisting on the deal. Or you could be, I do this often where I'm just like, I know somebody because maybe they know me under a certain aspect. Ryan the realtor. I'm not a realtor, by the way. Ryan the realtor. And you don't want to confuse that line. Or you can say our real estate division has this. But so I think I properly kind of beat that to death. But those are the multiple ways that you can do that.
And if for some reason you're in premium and you don't know who your team leader is, just reach out to support. They'll connect you and get that all taken care of.
Yeah. So, all of our team leaders are great. And we interviewed Chris a couple months ago.
We did. So. They're amazing. I think we covered everything.
I think so. So you need to get out there. You need to talk. Share one of those scripts that I just talked about. It could be the cold introduction, which is, I'm the guy, I'm the gal that has access to a bunch of money. And, I'm going to do that. Or you can be in this position where you know them and you're kind of, but either way, your thing to talk about right now, that flame, that look, is the big, beautiful bill. Use this all the time. Have you heard about the big, beautiful bill? Have you heard about it? Have you heard what's available? Have you heard what's available for restaurants for the big, beautiful bill? Oh, did you see all the changes to manufacturers for the big, beautiful bill? They're going to say no. Oh, check out this press release. By the way, there's a way on there that you can calculate your benefit in real time. I hope you're getting this. I hope you see how easy it is. I want to thank you for attending. I know it's been an hour and a half.
Thanks for putting up with our fumbling early on without our magnificent Heather. She'll be back next time. We appreciate all of you, and we are looking forward to getting as many enrollees into SWAT as possible and getting that kicked off here in the next couple of weeks.
Thanks, everybody.